Hello, I'm
Hi,
Kirsty.
I'm Sarah.
So, in today's episode, we will be discussing a question that somebody asked. They said, for deaf and hearing couples, what behaviours are acceptable and not acceptable? So, we've asked people on Instagram and they've given us loads of responses, so we'll
Yeah,
take it in turns to
yeah,
share those.
perfect. So we're starting with the yays. So what is
Yeah.
acceptable, and then we'll move on to the nays, which is not acceptable.
Yes.
Okay. So the first yay is so for attention, stamping or like waving, you can add like switching on and off the light or
Yeah.
tapping, making sure you have that eye contact for attention first. Don't just shout the person's name, especially if you know like they can hear because they wear hearing aids or implants. Don't just shout from behind. Like we don't always hear from behind, so don't shout and get frustrated. Just always tap to get their attention first before talking
Yes.
to them, saying what you want to say.
Yes. And the second one, of course, this is really important, learning sign language. That is key if your partner is a sign language user. You should learn basics, but also learn conversational and fluent sign language. Learning the basics is okay, but it's better if you can carry on learning like more
Yes,
deeper conversations,
yes,
not just like surface level
yes,
conversations. You should learn more deeper sign language.
yes, exactly. And just to add, not every deaf person
Yes.
knows sign language, but some deaf people actually learn with their
Mhm.
hearing partners. That's something they go through together, but don't let that become a negative thing because there was a poem, I think it was based on a true story, where like this man encountered a deaf woman in a pub and she's signing away and he's really interested and intrigued and want to learn sign language, and they got together and learned it, and then the relationship became toxic, and he got angry and said, oh, I don't like sign language, I only learned it because of you, I'm not going
Wow.
to use it anymore. And then he used it as like a manipulation tactic and stuff like that, and he used it as something that was against her, and obviously they split, and he didn't use it anymore because he didn't have a need for it anymore. So don't let sign language be um don't let your deaf partner be the only
Yes.
reason you use
Yes.
sign language, because if you break up, you think, oh,
Exactly.
I don't want to use it anymore,
That's
you don't
really
care about it.
important.
Obviously, learn sign language, use it, but have that in your back pocket as
Yes.
well, just in case you meet. Oh, actually, the next yay
Yeah.
is learning deaf culture. Just to tie them two together, learning sign language will help you to communicate with other deaf people at work and stuff like that. So using sign language is not just a benefit for the relationship, but other reasons as well.
Yes. Okay, the next one says
hmm
autonomy.
So to clarify autonomy, it means don't speak over the deaf person. So from a deaf
Oh.
perspective, the hearing partner should be letting you be independent. So someone trying to say something, or you feel like you're struggling, and then your hearing partner feels like they can become
Yeah,
an
like
ally,
getting
like,
involved.
oh yeah, like, let the deaf person be independent. They were coping without you, so why do you think, oh, with me I have to be that advocate for them? Like, no, calm down, calm down. Let them be
Yeah.
independent. If they need you to help, they will let you know.
Yes.
Not hearing. Wait, how do you sound snore?
Like, how do
How
you
do you
sign
sound?
that?
Let me.
Like when you sleep and the noise that comes out.
Snore. Snore. Yeah, it's a yay is not hearing that. You can sleep.
Benefits you. Inform. Oh, so meaning. Right. So if you're learning sign language for your partner, you should also involve your friends and family in learning, because like before we were saying, don't allow your partner be the only reason you learn sign language. Also encourage your family and friends to learn. And that means your partner won't feel left out or isolated, because it's only the two of you that can sign. Encourage others too.
Yeah, and even if it's not sign language that the family is using, make sure that the family is aware of basic communication tips. So making sure that eye contact, making sure that access to lip reading, making sure there's plenty of good lighting, so much more. You're not just telling the family to just learn sign language, but also understanding the communication needs of whoever your deaf partner is. Because again, not every deaf person is a sign language user. So make sure your family is aware of your partner's communication needs. Next one, communication tips. So asking if, so imagine you're in a restaurant or a cafe, or you're at work or something. Make sure you're asking the deaf partner, is it too loud? Do you want to sit somewhere else, or are you comfortable? Make sure that the person is comfortable and they feel like they can tell you, oh, I don't like this area, can we move somewhere else? And you are willing to do that. Okay, accepting reminders to adapt. So it ties in with the nay as well, but don't get frustrated if the deaf partner is always reminding you to implement eye contact, access to lip reading, making sure there's good lighting, don't call them from behind, please don't say never mind. You have to be willing and open-minded to accept the ability to adapt. Don't just be really dismissive and complain that they're always reminding you. If they're always reminding you, that means you are the problem.
Yeah, and especially if this is your first time being in a relationship with a deaf person, this is new to you. Don't think that you're going to be perfect and you're not going to make any mistakes. You will make mistakes, and it's how you learn from those mistakes. You should be thankful to your deaf partner and not like rolling your eyes and making them feel like they're the problem. Don't do that.
Patience goes both ways. The deaf partner is being patient in educating you, so you also need to be patient with yourself and your partner as well. So it goes both ways.
Yes.
Joking around when the deaf person like mispronounces a word. So like some deaf people are fine with you joking around saying, oh, you said this word wrong. Don't be like, oh, you've said that word wrong, like, why'd you say it like that? Be like, oh, like, it's cute, it's adorable that you can't say that word right. Like, you make it an inside joke. I know a lot of deaf people for years have never known how to say a word, and then they say it one day and the partner will be like, no, that's not how you say it. And they're like, oops, and it becomes an inside joke, and the partner's like, oh, remember that word you can't say, like, as a teasing thing. That's cute, like, yay, that's a yay.
Okay, so we've done all the acceptable things. Now we're going to go through what's not acceptable. Okay, so the first one is don't get frustrated. So similar to what we were talking about earlier, if your deaf partner is reminding you of their communication preferences and you become frustrated, don't do that. That's not acceptable.
At all. Not learning sign language is not acceptable. If you're full aware that one of your partner's access needs is sign language, you should learn sign language. You can't always depend on the fact that they wear hearing devices. Wait, but if they don't wear hearing devices, what are you doing?
Exactly.
You're literally forcing them to lip read you. And someone actually submitted and said that they watched their aunt go through a relationship with their hearing partner, and they were always communicating through the phone, like texting, because the hearing partner never learned sign language for their aunt. And it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
And how can you say, oh yeah, I love this person, but you can't even communicate in depth with them?
Ask them again. Ask them again.
Okay, the next one, ignorance and a lack of support. Not trying to engage in their culture, that's not acceptable. If you think about it, if you're with somebody, and again, if you love that person, you should want to know who are they, what's their identity and their culture. If you don't, then like, what's that?
Yeah. Again, not every deaf person is the same, so not every deaf person is involved in the culture. But if you're with someone who's very involved, like they're meeting up with deaf people, they go to deaf events, or like they're very educated about deaf culture, learn that too. Let them educate you. Go to the events with them. Like, it's a part of them. So, yeah, be willing to engage and get involved. What's the point of being with them if you don't want to enjoy their culture with them? They're opening their heart and showing you what makes them them, and you're just like really dismissive of it. That's not good.
No.
Next one. Speaking over the deaf person or speaking for them, that's not acceptable. If they haven't given you the permission to like speak for them, don't do it. Or if you feel like something's happened and you feel like you want to advocate, sometimes it's best not to say anything in that moment, but afterwards, do bring it up to them and be like, I feel like I should have said something. What do you think? And if your partner's like, yeah, next time if it happens again, please do feel like you can say something. Or they might say, actually, don't worry about it. And that's for you to then take a step back and accept that. But don't speak for that person or over that person or try to cut in for them or what's that word? Coddle? Like,
Yeah,
try to be
patronising.
protective and like, yeah, let them be independent.
Yes, yes. Okay, so saying the phrase, it pays to listen.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Okay, what it is, there's a lot of puns and phrases that link to like hearing and listening. And it's funny because some of the best listeners are actually deaf people. Like, because deaf people know how to communicate really well, so they know how to listen really well. But a lot of phrases like, it pays to listen, don't say that to a deaf person, like, oh, it pays to listen. What do you mean by that? Like, are you using the fact that they're deaf against them?
That's so wrong.
That's crazy behaviour. Don't do that. And if you do that often, that could be classed as like emotional abuse, manipulation, like you're using their deafness against them. Don't do that. So it pays to listen, or like tone deaf, or like whatever, like that's a really small example, but don't be that hearing person that uses like hearing puns against their deaf partner.
Yes.
Like, don't say stuff like that. Like, don't do that. Okay, so someone sent in food-based days, so going out for like meals. For them, it's not acceptable because their partner would always try to talk with food in their mouth. Like, there's no access to lip reading. What are you doing? But also, they never considers the noisy environment. So, like, the deaf person can't access what's being said anyways. So, a lot of deafies may say, I don't want to go to a restaurant unless you know it's quiet, or maybe it's later in the day where less people are there. Or, like, so have that conversation with your partner. A lot of deaf people love food. So, obviously, going to a restaurant makes sense, but make sure it's a restaurant where you know you can maybe ask for a quieter spot, or maybe you know it's quieter around 4 p.m. Let's go there at that time.
Yes.
Or if you're planning a date and you want it to be like a surprise, just ask in advance how they feel about maybe a dinner date. Make sure they're comfortable with that.
Yeah.
So it's like 50-50. It's not like a big thing like avoid dinner dates, but ask your partner, how do you feel about restaurants? What do you want me to do for you? Stuff like that. Be willing to adapt and work around it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, deaf people that wear hearing aids and cochlear implants, we don't wear them all day to sleep and all of that. We take them off during the day to have like hearing breaks. So if your deaf partner is having a hearing break and you ask them to put their hearing aid and a cochlear implant back on, why? That's their time. They've been lip reading all day, signing all day, or whatever, listening all day. It's hard. They need their time to rest. And if you try and take that time away, you're not respecting their space, their time, everything. It's exhausting.
Very, very, very. Okay, next one. Not respecting communication needs. So every deaf person is different. Some rely on lip reading, some rely on sign language. So if your partner's already told you in advance of their needs and you're not matching those, then that's not acceptable.
No.
That's not acceptable. Like, why are you refusing to match their needs? Why are you making them do the work to communicate with you? That's disrespecting their needs.
No. Okay.
So someone sent in a submission saying that their partner's always like embarrassed or always apologizing to other people whenever the deaf person doesn't hear them. So let's say the couple's walking on the pavement and there's someone behind saying, "Excuse me, please." The partner, the hearing partner, will be like, "Oh, really sorry, really embarrassed. She didn't hear you." And it's like she's deaf. What do you expect? Like,
that makes them feel really small as well. Like,
like, what do you want me to do? You heard it and you didn't say anything.
Exactly.
So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
And that's a part of you being able to understand that you have hearing privilege, so you can pick up sounds without even trying. So if somebody's behind, you can let them know. That's all you need to do. Give them the autonomy. Give them the independence.
Yeah. Or like conversation, like they're struggling and you're becoming embarrassed, like, "Oh, she didn't hear." Like, bruh, just say it. For like, there's so many different ways to navigate that. Stop being embarrassed or apologetic because you're making the deaf partner feel bad and feel embarrassed and small and like, okay.
Yeah, don't be surprised if the deaf person becomes distant and doesn't go into social spaces with you because of that. Okay, so the next one, avoiding making eye contact. Oh, that is awful. So, for example, if you are having an argument with your partner that's deaf and you look away or you close your eyes, that's wrong. That is making me mad.
That's
that would make
really
me so mad.
wrong. So, the only time it's funny... Ages ago, do you remember like there was a viral tweet where someone was like, "Oh, my mum's shouting up like or signing or shouting or telling off like my little brother," and he just closed his eyes.
Yeah, that.
I think he had hearing aids or something, and he just took them off, closed his eyes. And that's funny because like people are like, "Oh, he didn't want to hear or see what you were saying." That's funny, but if you're actually in a relationship and you're having
well, we've been signing too much.
Yeah. 16 minutes. Oops. We need to wrap up. We're almost done anyways. But yeah, like, if you're arguing in a relationship and you're closing your eyes, what are you doing? Just be like, "I don't want to have this conversation right now. I don't want to argue right now." Like, there's so many different things you can do in this situation. Why would you, at the deaf partner is signing and trying to share something, you're closing your eyes? Are you okay?
Like, that's really wrong. Like, you're not a mature person and like, it just makes me mad.
Honestly, like, why would you do that?
Like, I get it if you're in a relationship and you're deaf and you're with a deaf person.
Not even that. That's not appropriate. Would you do that?
I think I'd do it if it was like a petty argument, like just playing around. But an actual argument, this person is like upset because you've done something, and you just look away or whatever.
That's awful behaviour. Literally, just be like, "I don't want to talk with you," and walk away. Like, just walk away, or just be like, "Can we do this later?" Or "Calm down, please," or "I'm not going to respond until you calm down." Don't just close your eyes. Are you good? Like, anyways, moving on. If anyone's experienced that, I'm really sorry. awful
Yes.
behavior. Like, that's disgusting. That's horrid.
And it just shows like the respect that the person has for you,
Oh.
the respect they have for your feelings. Like, if you're in a relationship, feelings, honesty, trust are really important. If that's not there, I'm just still like, how can you do that to your partner?
Moving on.
Always.
Someone said that their partner, like, they're having dinner with family, their partner's always saying, like, oh, you're not missing anything, or don't worry, or it doesn't mean anything, like, the conversation doesn't mean anything. I want to know what's being spoken about the table, especially if, like, I'm married and my partner's hearing and they're saying, oh, don't worry, like, you're not missing anything, the children are just chatting. I want to know what the children are talking about. I want to engage in the conversation. What if one of the children's like, oh, I was with my boyfriend, or like, I have a crush, or like, hopefully we have that relationship where the children are
Yes.
comfortable to say that. But what if something important was being spoken about? Like, or what if the children, or like, one's 5 years old and they're like, oh yeah, this happened at school, one of the girls kissed one of the boys, or like the boys were punching each other, and I could be like, oh, really, I want to engage with the children. Like, for my partner to be like, oh, you're not missing anything, don't worry,
Bad
that's like,
because
what the hell?
especially if the partner is like not aware of details about the children, but yourself and you're deaf, and you know this is right and this is wrong, and your partner doesn't know, and something happens at school, and you already have context, and the children are talking about that, but your partner doesn't know, and it's only something that you know, and you can't even intervene because you don't know what's being said. I don't like
do
that.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Embarrassed when talking too loud. That's not my fault. Like,
why are you blaming deaf
honestly,
people for so many
like,
things?
deaf
Like,
people
just
can't always hear themselves. I remember growing up, teachers would be like, inside boys, outside boys. I can't hear myself. What do you expect me to do? Like,
oh my gosh, inside and outside
literally,
voice. Inside
everyone
voice.
had that. The hearing children as well, but I feel like it was more directed at the deaf children because they can't hear themselves. And it's like, would you expect?
Yeah.
They're literally, oh, wait. I don't know how to explain it, but ever since I had my operation, I've not been able to like regulate my voice. When I first woke up from the operation, my best friend, Labake, she said to me, you're really, really quiet, like, through your recovery period. So she was like, you were literally whispering. And I was like, no, I'm not. And she was like, yeah, you were whispering. And I was like, no, I can feel that I'm speaking loud enough. And she's like, no, you're really quiet. And then I would like testing myself, like shouting, talking normally. And it's the exact same feeling. Like, I can't hear myself. So how do you expect me in a relationship to be able to control my voice? How do I know if I'm shouting or not? Like, obviously, if I'm like animated, I know I'm trying to shout, but maybe I'm not loud enough. What do you want me to do about that? Do you want me to just magically be able to hear myself? Like, what do you want me to do about that? So if you're becoming embarrassed because we're outside in public and I'm talking but I'm really loud, that's not my fault. Just be like, you know, you're shouting, you're being really loud, and I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realise. Well, obviously I didn't realise, but you're becoming embarrassed, you're going to make me feel bad. Don't be like that. Don't do that.
But if that happened to me, that would make me feel really like self-conscious. Even when I'm with you, I'd feel like I'm allowed what. So just be careful.
Damn.
Wow. This has been really good so far. Thank you to the people that gave all of these yays and nays. It's really helpful, and I agree with a lot of them.
Yeah. And if people have more, comment them down below. Share your experiences, even if they're bad. If they are bad, I do hope you've broken up by now.
Yep.
Thank you. But yeah, like, there's definitely more yays and nays, but also, like, it depends who you're with. Have that conversation with your deaf partner. What's acceptable? What's not acceptable? What can I do? What can't I do? Or if you don't know yet, then through the relationship, we can grow together. maybe for some deaf people, you're the first hearing person they're with, and they don't know what's right and what's wrong, so you grow together. If something comes up and they say, actually, I didn't feel comfortable with that, be willing, accept that. Don't be like, oh, it's your first time with a hearing person, you're being sensitive, you don't know what it's like. No, don't do that. Like, grow with the partner.
Yes.
Like,
also, for deaf people, remember there is power in community. So if you are not sure about your relationship, you can ask people that you know and that you feel you can trust these people and talk to them about your relationship. This is happening and what can be improved or whatever. Community is the most helpful thing at a time like that.
Yes, definitely. That was interesting.
Really interesting.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. We hope you like,
comment,
share,
and subscribe.
Valentine is coming.
Happy Valentine's Day.
You're sitting at home. Lonely. Say Valentine is coming. Valentine is coming. Happy Valentine's Day if you celebrate it. Remember, it's okay to love yourself too. You don't need a companion. You don't need, well, actually, as humans we do, but it's okay if you're alone, okay? Get yourself some chocolate or some sweets, or if you don't like sweets, buy your favorite treats or something, okay?
Yeah.
Treat yourself, love yourself, look after yourself, respect yourself, set your boundaries, and then when or if someone does come along, they can love you better than how you love yourself, okay? Set the standard, period.
Yes. And do what makes you happy.
Yes.